You see we've got some new stock in, beautiful new hens. And I just want to point out the powder on the walls there. We're using diatomaceous earth on the walls to make sure that we don't get any mites or lice in the house. We have a really vigorous cleaning routine here and hygiene routine. They're cleaned out. They're spot cleaned every day, and then every, I think it's every 4 days, all the litter's taken out, and we clean it up, we spray it down, and we sprinkle the walls with powder, with diatomaceous earth, in all the nooks and crannies to prevent any mites or lice taking hold in the housing as well. It's really, really important to have the confidence when you go to buy chickens to look around the yard where you're buying them from, look at the retail, look at the environment. Is it muddy? Is it dirty? Are there lots of mess? Are there rats even around? Be prepared to walk away if you're not happy about the situation or the environment the chickens are kept in. Make sure the houses are clean that they're using, the runs, etc. And also pick up the birds that you're looking at, give them a good inspection, have a look at them, and make sure that they're healthy, they're lice and mite free, and there are no problems with them. I'm going to show you how to hold a chicken, how to pick it up. I caught this one already. I thought we'd have a little stooge here. She's a new chicken, so she resisted arrest. She's only came in on Thursday. Now, when you're holding a chicken, the way that makes you feel more confident and the way that makes them happier and a little bit more rested is to hold them with the hand underneath. So using a hand, use it like that with the 3 middle fingers together, and then you've got little finger and the thumb on the outside, which you can use to grasp the top of the chicken's thigh, so you're holding onto her nice and tightly and she feels comfortable. Now do hold onto the legs tightly, because otherwise they'll scrabble up into your hands and scratch your hand, or they use you as a launch pad, and once they get their feet up, that's it, they're jumping up, they're off out of the way, and they'll be up in the rafters before you know it, and it's a bit difficult to get them down when they do that. So hold them nice and securely. Now, looking at chicken when you're buying it, firstly, when it's on the ground, look at how they're socialising. A healthy chicken, a normal healthy chicken, should be inquisitive, it should be making a lot of noise like these ones are here. It should be scratching around, there should be a lot of life going on in the pen. Don't choose a chicken that's hunched in the corner with its head down and is looking miserable. Choose one that's scratching around and socialising with the other chickens. Pick it up, have a look at it. Now, look at the head of the chicken, check it's got, I'm not being funny, check it's got 2 bright eyes. People hold up a head and go, that one looks all right. They don't look at the other side. So look at the eyes, they need to be nice and bright, blinking their eyes properly, no sign of the 3rd eyelid coming over, so nice bright eyes, no bubbles in the corners of the eyes either. That can be an indication that they might have a respiratory tract infection. Have a look at the nostrils there at the top of the beak. They're nice and clean, there's no snot, no bubbles and no crusty bits. Looking at her headgear, this one's a very young girl. Now, we sell them at what we call point of lay, or POL you may see in adverts or on websites. Point of lay means that the chicken is ready to come into lay within roughly a month. Now, chickens lay around the age of 20 weeks. The way you can judge the age is by looking at their face. The flesh bits on her face are very pale, they're not bright red like some of the chickens in here. She's got a small little comb, and these wattles underneath her eyes are very small and pale as well. So she's probably about 16 weeks old, so around a month away from laying. And when you're buying hens at this time of the year in the autumn, you'll find that they come into lay a little bit later because there are less daylight hours. So you'd expect this one to start laying sort of around beginning of November time, maybe towards the end of November. So check her eyes there. Now look down her feathers. Check that she's got a nice set of feathers. She's not had any feathers pulled out, no bald patches, no pecked bits, no broken feathers. You would expect to feel a few quills and new feathers growing underneath, because when they're young like this, they molt quite frequently to grow through their feathers and attain their adult plumage. Looking at the wing feathers here on this chicken, you can see at the front of the wing there's about 7 feathers. These ones here, the primary flight feathers. Okay, now those are the ones that we will trim for you when you buy a chicken here. We don't have to if you don't want us to, but it stops them from taking off. Until they've settled down, it's wise to keep the wing clipped. Now we only clip one wing, and we clip it on the left hand side. The reason being that hens are slightly heavier on the left hand side. They've got 2 ovaries, only one has eggs in and is functioning. It's on the left hand side, so they're very slightly leftward heavy. So if you clip the wing on the left hand side, it stops them from taking off so easily. And we will do that for you, and you can maintain that at home once you've got them. Now looking at your chicken again, look at her legs, inspect those. Now on a young pullet, a young hen like this, they should be nice and closely scaled, very smooth legs. An older hen would have legs which have more raised scales, slightly cornier, hornier looking scales on her legs, okay? Just check that there's no injuries or infections or any problems underneath her feet there, that they're nice clean feet, okay? Now looking at your bird, you won't notice it on this one because she hasn't had a lot of breakfast yet, but on the front here, on the front right breast hand side, so on the right hand side of her front here, you will be able to feel at the end of the day a nice large crop full of food. That's like a bird's equivalent of a stomach, okay? She eats her food and it goes down into the crop, which is a holding area for the gizzard which grinds up the food. So don't worry if you pick a hen up and you feel something at the underneath your hand here, sort of golf ball size, fairly big, fairly firm. Don't worry about that because that's the crop. That should be full towards the end of the day. Now looking a little bit closer at her, I show people on the beginner's course how to turn a hen over so that you can have a look at the underneath. Now there are different ways of doing that, but if you carry on holding her like that on your hand, put the other hand on top of her to hold her wings down with the fingers facing towards her tail. Okay, this is where they might put up a little bit of a fight. Just turn her over firmly like that. Now you can either sit down in the garden and put her in your lap like that, or just hold her like a rugby ball, rather dignified, under your arm like that, okay? Now looking at the chicken, just get used to feeling how much weight she carries. Has she gone light? Has she lost weight since you last picked her up? They're quite skinny because they're not table birds, they're egg-laying birds. They don't build up a lot of breast meat. But have a look at that. Now you want to buy a chicken that's clean and has no lice. So you want to look in those fluff feathers around the vent area and check that there are no creepy crawlies in that area. You'll see little lice are like little kids' head lice. They're little gingery things about the size of a sesame seed that scuttle around at the base of the feathers. So have a good look there. And then feeling there behind her knees, if you put the flat of your hand there, you can feel the two pelvic bones sticking out into your hand. Now two pelvic bones right here, I can just feel them there. They're about that far apart, so she is a good 4 weeks away from laying. And when a chicken starts to come into lay, when a hen starts to get into lay, you'll notice the pelvic bones are wider, okay? So if you're buying a chicken with wider pelvic bones, about that far apart, then she's just about to come into lay, especially if she's got a red face as well. Now looking there, just behind the pelvic bones, you can feel them just there, just behind those. You can see her vent in the feathers. There we go, very tiny. Now this one has a vent that's about 1 centimetre across and it's very small and very dry, okay? Check there's not no poo around there. You don't want to buy a chicken with digestive upset at all. But you want to make sure she's nice and clean. And looking at that vent, she's very young. It's a very dry vent and quite small, so she's nowhere near ready starting to lay yet. So you've got a nice, good, healthy young bird there. Now, once you get them home, do inspect your hens at home on a regular basis. Pick them up. Do they feel like they've lost weight? Do they look healthy? Are there any bald pecked areas? Check them for lice and mites on a regular basis to make sure that they're keeping nice and healthy. Thanks very much. Bye bye.